Hi, I'm Tracy from Tracy's Learning and Coaching, and I'm a life coach and hypnotherapist based in Poole. So before lockdown, I was doing first steps to change workshops, and then we all locked down and couldn't go out, so I bought them online. I've had a few months off myself to get my head around this whole COVID chaos that is unfolding around us. So I'm back, as I've said in my previous videos, and I am ready to help again. So first steps to change today is first steps to coping with COVID. So I have, hands up, I have struggled during lockdown. I was really surprised actually how much I struggled, because I thought I was fixed. Apparently not. Apparently I'm still capable of falling down again. So it has given me a chance to look at myself and grow some more and make myself a better version of myself. So what I have been using to help me is something called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So done a wonderful drawing. Anybody who knows me knows how good I am at drawing. So here we are, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So it's a model for how somebody can become the best version of themselves that they can. So the idea is that we all have different needs, basic needs, psychological needs, in order to grow. And once you get to certain levels, you have to go through different stages. And when you get to the pinnacle of this, it's designed as a pyramid, then you are self-actualized. So the best version of yourself you can be. So if we have a look at our pyramid, very base of our needs are our physiological needs. So these are the things we need to survive: air, water, food, sleep, shelter, clothing, reproduction. All of those things. Without those, we wouldn't survive as a individual, and without reproduction, we're not going to survive as a race. So your physiological needs. So if you are without air, you are just worried about not having any air. You know, if you're without food, you don't think about things that somebody else who has food is going to worry about. So I'm relatively okay. I don't have to worry where my next meal is coming from. If I was living in a third world country, I would be worrying about my food and my water and possibly my shelter as well first. Once those physiological needs are met, these are your basic needs. So when they are being met, you can then move on to your safety needs. So these are the needs you have in order to make you feel safe in your life and in your world. So your personal safety, are you worried about being mugged or molested, or is your personal safety, are you safe at work? Do you feel under threat at all? So we have those. We have your security in your house, maybe. Are you under threat? Do you live in, if you lived in a really bad area, you would first worry about these, your physiological needs, your food, your air. But if they were sorted, you might start worrying about whether the shelter you have, whether it was safe. Do you live in an area where people continuously break in? That is going to cause you anxiety. If you've got terrible neighbours, they are going to cause you a problem. However, having terrible neighbours would be better off. You wouldn't be worrying about your terrible neighbours if you didn't have a shelter. So you see, you're building up the thing, your needs. So you have your baseline needs, and then your needs for your safety. Employment safety. Do you feel safe in your job? I mean, at the moment, things are going crazy. People might be sort of struggling with worrying about whether their jobs are there, or maybe they're losing their jobs already. There's going to be a lot of that in the next few months, right? So people are going to be worrying about that. Your health, are you worrying about the safety of your health? COVID has brought a lot of people into panic mode about whether they are going to be safe, whether they are going to die, whether their loved ones are going to die. So you wouldn't be worrying about your health needs if you didn't have air, food and water or shelter, because that is more important, right? So this is how this works. So you've got your basic needs, and then you're worrying about your health needs, and then your safety needs. Do you feel safe in your skin, in your home, in your job, in your health, in your property? Do you feel safe? So these are the very basic needs that one needs in order to survive and to live some sort of normal life. Okay, so not even normal, is it? Because then we're coming into connection. So connection, the love and belonging, to feel part of something. You know, you might have family or friendships or intimacy with somebody. It's a connection to somebody or some people, whether that's your family or your friends, a loved one, a lover. Without having a connection with somebody, life can seem pretty bleak, right? So you have to have these basic needs. You're not going to worry about whether somebody loves you or whether you have a connection if you are spending your time worrying about when the next food is coming along, or where you're going to sleep tonight. You're not really worrying about whether you're connected to your family or your friends, or if you have an intimate relationship, because you are too worried about your basic needs. So psychological needs are your connection to other people. Now, if you've got connection to other people, you can pretty much feel that you have some sort of worth. Hopefully. Not everybody feels that, and some people get stuck on not having that self-worth and not feeling like you have any recognition from what you do, any freedom to do what you want to do. Do people respect you? So again, you're not worrying about having respect from people if you haven't got a connection to somebody. So you have to have your connection to somebody first, or some people, and then you can start thinking, well, do those people respect me? So some people live their lives in this terrible situation where they just want connection. They just want to be loved. So they allow people to walk all over them and to treat them really badly. But for them, the connection is more important. So it isn't until you've got a connection can you worry about whether they respect you, or whether you have self-esteem enough to demand respect. You should demand respect, right? You should have respect from people, because I'm kind of guessing that you're probably a good person. You may not know it, you may not have this self-respect, because some of these things might be missing or have been missing in the past. So without connection to a family, some friends, a lover, whatever, you cannot start to feel respect for yourself. You cannot build self-esteem. You cannot have any recognition or status, because you have to have that connection to somebody to say, hey, I really like that person. Therefore, once you have that connection, then you can start deciding whether that person gives you the respect that you deserve. So you have this pyramid. So you can see you've got your basic needs and then your psychological needs. So self is that self-actualization, when you can become the best version of yourself that you can possibly become. So this is all about cognitive needs. So learning what gives you, what do you like to do in order to learn and grow and build knowledge. So some people might like to learn about, like me, I like biology, and other people might like to read books on any subject or stories, because you're building that growth in your mind to grow as a person. You might like the news, you might like travel documentaries, you might like nature programs. All of those sort of things, documentaries on all of those things are helping you to grow as a person. This is your cognitive need. But you're not worrying about your cognitive needs if you haven't got food, or you haven't got connection to somebody. You have to have those. You can't worry about whether you're learning stuff if you're worrying about whether you're going to die. Yeah? Okay, so there we go. So then we've got the aesthetic needs. So aesthetic needs are things like photography or art or music. Whatever gives you beauty. Going for a walk, enjoying nature, listening to birds, watching the sea, listening to the sea, looking at the stars, whatever it is that makes you go. Feel at one with the universe, enjoying the beauty around you, or using the arts to fulfill you, to make you feel better as a person, to make you enjoy your time better. So you need that aesthetics to make you build, so you can become the best version of yourself. So again, you can't be the best version of yourself if you have no self-esteem, or if you have no respect from other people. You're not going to know your potential. You have to know your potential, and you don't know your potential until you start connecting with people and people start showing you that you're worth it. Then you can grow, and then you can find what you're interested in, because you have that self-knowledge and that self-worth. You can then build and go, well, what am I interested in? What do I want to learn? What do I want to do? You know, whether it's yoga or sports, or just to become the best version of yourself. You have to know that you're worth becoming the best version of yourself. So you can see how this pyramid connects. So this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So in order, it's a model to say for somebody to become the best version of themselves, they first have to build up through the pyramid. So for me, during lockdown, so before lockdown, I am here. I am helping people, and I'm learning, and I'm growing, and I'm doing yoga, and I'm looking after my body by doing lots of keep fit stuff, and I'm just generally, you know, I'm going out dancing and listening to music and connecting with people. So I'd go out on a Friday or a Saturday night. I'm not drinking because I'm driving. I'm having a dance, and I'm listening to fantastic music, and I'm talking to people, I'm connecting to people, and I tell people as I'm out and about, because they obviously want to know who I am and what I do. Or they might actually, sometimes I'm in a gig and somebody starts talking to me, and then before I know it, I'm hearing their life story in front of me. It's like going for music, but we end up talking, obviously. So this is my life before lockdown. You know, I'm here, I'm self-actualized, I'm at my pinnacle of growing and learning and being the best version of myself. Lockdown happens. Okay, so here we are. I have all my basic needs. I have my air, I have my food, I have my water. I even had toilet rolls. You know, I had all of these things. Don't even need to go there. So shelter, sleep. You know, some people had problems with their sleep. I actually got a better sleep, weirdly enough. I have no idea why I was different to other people. So then I've got the security. I've still got my employment security because the government has helped financially. So I know that I'm not going to die of starvation. I'm not going to lose my house. So I had that security. All the literature that I was reading said there is a 99.8% chance of survival. So if you're over 80, it goes up to about 3%, but I'm not over 80. So I don't have to worry about that. All my family are below that. So I wasn't worried about my health security. I wasn't threatened in that way. Sorry, I've got a really dry throat. So I wasn't worried about these, but then I've got this connection. So I connect with people. I love people. I fully enjoy connecting with people, my friends, my family, strangers, you know, going to the shops and going, hi, how are you? And they'll say, at me and tell me how they are, literally, which is awesome. But suddenly That's not happening anymore. I'm not connecting to people. Yes, I can do video chats, great. At least I am aware that there is a world outside my walls, but that's really hard. For me, connection was where I lost my pyramid. So with my connection lost, I have my friendship, I have my family, but I didn't feel connected to anyone. You know, I'm a single woman and suddenly the connection is gone. Who am I? I've lost my connection. So this has been rocked. My connection was rocked. My psychological need to feel connected to people has gone. Where is it gone? So then we've got the esteem. So I was making videos and loads of you wrote and said, thank you very much, the videos are really helpful. But somewhere in translation that got lost into whatever. My recognition, because when you're connecting to people on a personal one-to-one, you recognise them and they recognise you. You have this mutual bond with people, and suddenly that's gone. So I questioned who I am and what I'm doing. So I got stuck on these two, connection and self-esteem. I lost everything that I deemed important to me. And so this is where I had a problem with. So because I'm now off balance and I'm not happy with myself and I'm not happy with where my life has gone, you know, I dropped into that fight or flight, anger, anxiety, depression, little cycle, and I got stuck there for a while. Because I am off balance, my cognitive needs weren't being met. My aesthetic needs in some ways, because I did a lot of walking and I could appreciate the beauty, but I wasn't doing what I do. I wasn't doing any photography. I stopped playing an instrument. I stopped writing. I stopped making videos, all the things that I enjoy doing, because I'm a bit, who am I and what's going on here? Suddenly I've lost that. So there we are. So this is where I got stuck. So myself, my personal growth to be the best version of myself that I can be, suddenly stopped. And because that keeps getting eroded and eroded, I stopped looking after myself as much. I stopped doing so much yoga. I stopped doing as much keep fit as I was doing. Still can't see people, so I'm not connecting to people. People aren't encouraging each other at the gym. So that connection is going. All the connections are going, and because the connections are going, everything is folding in on itself, and suddenly I'm not looking after myself, I'm not growing as a person, I'm not doing the things I love. And so I ended up in that cycle. Okay, so I got stuck there for quite a while, and it's taken me kind of all this time to figure out that why I've had that problem and how I can grow and become again the best version of myself that I can be. So I wanted to show you the pyramid because it might help you to see where you are going wrong, how you've got stuck. Have you been stuck on your psychological needs? Have you not had enough food? You know, have you lost money and therefore haven't got enough money? Because I'm so blessed and I'm so lucky, but not everybody is in the same situation as me. You know, do you have, you know, your safety needs? Are you worrying about work? Are you worrying about your health? Are you worrying that you might lose your property? Are you, like me, lost connection with people? Your friends, your family, your loved ones? Lost that intimacy? Have you lost self-respect or knowing where you are and who you are as a person? Have you lost your freedoms and find that a major issue? So whereabouts on your pyramid are you stuck? Where have you got trapped? Where is everything falling down? So if we have a look at this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this on for a second, but I want you to take a look at it, seeing your connection and see where what you've lost. have a think about it, write it down, and then we'll get back to me in the next video and we can work on these together. There is light at the end of the tunnel. It's taken me a while to find it, so I want to share with you and help you to understand how you can cope with this COVID, how you can cope psychologically to make you start to grow for yourself again. So I'm going to leave this picture here for a moment, if you care to look at it. Okay, and I want you to think about this. I'm going to give you a little while, and then I'm going to press pause. But I want you to look at it, and you can press pause so you can look at your pyramid, and hopefully you can see the bits up here as well, and figure out where you have got stuck and what's the next, so then we can work on the next step for you. Okay, so I'm just going to leave you to have a look at it. When you've got them all written down or looked at it, you can even draw a picture of it, whatever, but just then start to think about, just press pause and then look at it. Where have you got stuck in this cycle?